Good evening, all. Myself, Abba Sahib. Can you start, Rohit?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Good evening, all. To RIT Alumni Advisory Hub weekly meeting number 36. I am Abba Sahib Kare, 1996 batch of mechanical engineering. Today we have Yogesh from 1995 mechanical batch talking about uh, mentoring. I think I'll come to that particular session a little later. Before that, few suggestions. Please mute your microphones. And if you have any specific question, this session is going to be interactive. So please raise your hand. Rohit will intimate you, and accordingly he will unmute you also. So we have very brief agenda today. After this opening remarks, Yogesh will immediately start his session, and then we'll have open discussion forum from 10:15 to 20:25, and then for last 5 minutes we'll have concluding remarks. Before we start, we can just quickly wrap up on our vision and all those things. I think you all know by now what exactly we stand for. Especially today's session is been led through overseas community. Yogesh being senior most member of entire forum, and this particular community has also been forefronted by him. I think one of the most important agenda for this particular community is mentoring, and we were thinking of this session for quite long, and then last week we said let's go ahead and who else can handle this session best rather than our great friend Yogi. Um, Rohit, can you go next? These are our presences on various platforms, impacts, and I think we keep on circulating those details with you. We are we are trying to reach maximum alumni. If you can help us, I think that will be really great to add more alumni. The impacts can be seen, though right now they are not that big, or what you can say, the reach of such impacts is not that great. But yes, we have started somewhere, and slowly it will get bigger and bigger. Some of the upcoming announcements: phase 2 of hands-on coding and implementation in advanced blockchain. Phase 1 we had a couple of weeks back. Mr. Gaurav Sumanshi, who is globally acknowledged blockchain consultant, conducted that session. Because of current pandemic situation, we are again stuck when we will take up this phase 2 session, but very soon we will take decision and communicate to you what exactly we want to do. I think today's session is very important, and I personally wanted to just talk to you on this. Uh, last week, on the occasion of birthday of Honorable Mr. Jayan Patil, when I was talking to students at our college, I specifically mentioned this point. I think we need to have a mentor in our life. Unfortunately, I think when we were studying, we were really completely unaware of such an activity. But today, I think through alumni, we are able to reach out to you, and we are really worried about this particular part. That if we will be able to mentor some of you, if you can make choice for a great mentor, I think that will not only is out for you in future, but will give you proper guidance in you can say saving your time first of all. Second thing, sharing experience, getting from the experience of your senior alumni, and most important, some of the very expensive mistakes can be avoided. That's the motive of the entire session. Yogesh works for one of the largest American multinational technology company, and he has more than 25 years of rich experience in integrating technological platforms and delivering software solutions. I was lucky enough to get him as my own mentor because he's 1 year senior to me right from my. I think we share our primary school, secondary school. I think he was in different school, but then we walked the entire path together. Um, I think, to be very frank, this session will bring you so many great things, and if you stick to that, especially for students, I'll suggest, if you take away some good lessons, you will be very successful in a maybe short time in sense, in correct sense. You may be able to pick up right things at right stage. I think Yogesh loves quotes, so I will just pick up few quotes for this particular session. There's one quote by Oprah Winfrey where she says, "A mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself." So that's a description about say mentor. But for mentor, it is someone an anonymous quote. Mentor is someone whose hindsight can become your foresight. So with this, I hand over the session to my great friend Yogesh. Over to you, Yogesh. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Abba, for your kind and flattering words, for like a better word. So let me share my screen, and then we can get started. Okay. So, are you seeing my presentation, or which screen you are seeing?
No, Yogesh, I think it's general screen.
Okay, so give me one moment. Okay. I think. I'm just trying to see. I have two screens.
Yeah, I think one screen said that you left.
Okay. So you are still probably seeing. Okay, let me start the presentation and then let us take from there. Okay.
Yeah, we can see now.
Yeah, it is okay.
So, are you
Yeah.
seeing the presentation screen, or are you seeing the?
I think it's what you can say.
Yes, yes, it is presentation.
It's
Yogesh,
presenter screen, Yogesh. It's
Oh,
not
it's a
in
presenter screen.
presentation mode मध्ये नाही आहे ते.
Okay, okay. Give me 1 second. Then I have to. I don't know how I do the two screen thing in here actually.
So you can just, I think your entire desktop is shared. You can just start the slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not
Open
giving
the,
me that option actually. I used to use. Okay, let me do this thing. Let me just move this thing on the other screen and see if that works. So how about now?
Yeah. Again, screen only. Yes, perfect.
yeah,
Please go ahead.
it's
Okay.
visible.
there you go.
So sorry for that. Sorry for that. And just before before I start, I just wanted to give a brief background behind this session and behind the purpose of this session. Right, a lot of our alumni have shown interest in mentoring the students, and we all understand the importance of mentoring and how it will help students and all. However, I see there is little apprehension or little bit of not understanding exactly what it entails from people who want to mentor the students, as well as from the students perspective themselves, like what mentoring means for them. And there is a little bit of a shyness about approaching the people. Even for the mentors, this little bit, okay, why should I spend this time? uh, how should I go about it? What exactly I'm supposed to do as a mentor, and what I'm not supposed to do as a mentor? So a lot of apprehensions, and because of that, I think we are a little bit reluctant to put our hat into ring and say, okay, I can talk to the students, I can help with these things, I can help with that thing. So this session is kind of to give a brief introduction what mentoring means, especially in the context of our organization. I think we all can understand that mentoring means different thing in different contexts, right? In a professional world, it means something different. In a academic world, it means something different. So what exactly mentoring means? What do we we expect from the students and what students should expect from a mentors. As a mentor, what we are supposed to do. So some of these things we'll try to answer in today's session. I will also talk a bit about the roadmap or the framework we are building for RIT students as a part of this mentoring session. Okay, and so as I think Abba already mentioned that let us keep this interactive. It is not that I am going to give some discourse and everybody had to listen to me, right? Let us make them interactive. There are a lot of people on this forum who are senior, who have been working in industry and who are students, right? So everybody please add your perspective. One point I want to highlight here before we actually start the presentation is, right, especially in the today's world, which is driven by knowledge, which is driven by technology, mentoring or a mentor not necessarily means someone who is senior to you. I mean, at every stage of the life, even if you are somebody with just starting your college, or you have 30 years of experience, right? There is someone you reach out to when you need advice. There is someone whom you depend on to get some help, clear your thought process. So even if you are experienced 30-40 years experience, you still have mentor. At the same time, on the other side of the spectrum, even if you are somebody like just first year engineering student or second year engineering student, you still have influence in the sphere of your your influence sphere. Like you might be helping out students from high school, you might be helping out students in 10th 11th grade to choose them, so you can be mentors for them too. So it is nothing defined by age, it is nothing defined by experience or seniority. At every stage, we, in my mind, we are both mentors as well as mentee at the same time, right? We all learn from the experience. So that is the purpose behind this session, to define what mentoring means, to understand what it means for students as well as for us as a mentors, what we should do, what we should not do, and how to make this relationship successful for both mentors and for both mentees or students. I keep using this word students or mentees interchangeably, but I don't want to us to limit our thinking that only students could be mentors. I mean, I know there are a lot of people who graduated in last couple of years and they are recently joined the workforce, right? I'm pretty sure they would like to have some help, some guidance too, and even people with 20-25 years experience also in the different fields. So that is the purpose behind this meeting. But the main purpose is kind of remove a little bit of apprehension, especially from the people who have raised their hands and said that we are willing to help the students, we are willing to mentor the students, but then we are not sure what that means, what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. So with that background, let us start with the session. Before we actually jump into the meat of this, I want you to think, maybe take 30 seconds, and as a mentors, what it means for you, right? So you can either speak out the words which come to your mind or put them in the chat. And Rohit, can I please request you to look at the chat and see what people are entering there, and you are welcome to talk to. So just think about it, what it means for you to be mentoring other people. And as I said earlier, right, it is, I mean, even if you're a student, you could be still advising high school students or your younger relatives. So think about that, put that hat on, and maybe if you can give me some words, what you are thinking you need to do as a mentor.
I think, Yogi, we have few friends. I will call out them and ask meantime. Yogeshwari, would you like to talk? Yogeshwari?
So, Abba, I think I don't want to do that for a reason, right? Don't want to call out names of the people and do it. But I'm asking even for the senior people, like when you said that I'm ready to mentor somebody, what are your thoughts on that perspective? And if you don't want to talk, it's perfectly all right to put it in the chat. But I don't want to call out people and this and put them on the spot. And
No, the reason, Yogi, was to save on time, nothing else.
Yeah.
I think fair enough.
So Sir just texted in the chat showing the path.
Right, showing the path. Excellent.
guidance, maybe guide to the.
Sir, according to me, mentor should listen the mentee's problems.
Perfect. Yeah. So again, right, just take this first part. I'm coming to that in the next part. The first part, I want, as a mentor, what do you think what you are supposed to do or what you should do? So I think Swapnil said showing the path and guide, right? Other.
Sandeep sir has texted in the chat as give your experience to the next generation.
Awesome.
Manali just expressed the growth.
Rohit, can you be a bit louder? It's breaking a bit.
Suyash, Suyash just texted as an expert in that field who consult us.
All right.
Yes,
So I think all great thoughts, right? All good thoughts. Now just flip your hat. Okay. Now I think Yogesh, now I'll come to you, right? Flip your hat. And as I said in the beginning, even if you are 20, 25 years experience, I'm pretty sure there is someone in your life you looked up to them as a mentor. You reach out to them. So now put your mentee's hat, and especially I'm expecting students to participate in this. And if you can give me few words, what do you think a mentor should do, or what do you expect from a mentor, or what mentoring means for you as a mentee or as a student? So Yogeshwari, now it is your time. Go ahead.
Sir. According to me, a mentor should listen to the mentee's problems.
That is very true, and that is very very awesome thing to say. I think that is one thing which I will, or everyone should do, is listen, right? Okay, go ahead. Rohit, so anybody putting anything in the chat?
Yeah, so just for the mentor actually.
No, go ahead. Anyway, you can read that.
Yeah. Mentor should help in defining the problem. And
That is very good.
Aditi put as someone who tells both positive and negative things about the path.
Awesome. I think I don't need to do this presentation. You guys have told me all the things I wanted to say.
Mahesh just told us analyze resource limitations and based on the possible solution.
Perfect.
It's saying that learning and sharing that learning. The good
Nice.
Ayush thought as a mentor is the one who transfer his skills to the mentee.
Right. I have problem with that word transfer, because whenever you
share,
teach someone or share something, both of you get enriched, right? It is not that knowledge is leaving me when I'm talking to somebody, but yes, I understand the thought process. And awesome. I think
there is one comment by very important comment by
Rohan,
our young friend Kashmira Kadam, to give confidence in their abilities.
Yes.
Awesome. I think you guys have captured the essence of it. So let's move on, right? I think some of the words I listed here: motivate, how to go about things.
I just want to mention one thing that Rohan mentioned, as a mentor should feel like a friend, so that we can interact with him easily without hesitation, without limitation of language.
Correct. Absolutely.
अनन्याचा लुक बदलणार आहे उद्या.
And I have put some of them here, and a lot of it already got captured, like motivate, how to go about things, guidance, help, self-improvement, help in development, shared experience. Somebody already said that, right? Bring people out of comfort zone, listen. I already had that: listen, coach, improve, guide, give direction, inspire, talk about latest technologies. It is nothing that a particular mentor can tell you everything. So when you grow, when you enter the professional world, you will find that you end up having multiple mentors for multiple reasons, right? And we'll go to that in a while. But a lot of great thoughts, what mentoring means to everybody, and what we should cover during today's session. So thanks for your inputs. For personally like me, as I said, as I like to say, I'm both mentor. I am mentoring few students and a few professionals in my company. I've been a mentor for a while, but at the same time, I'm always a mentee. I'm always, reaching out to learning new things. So for me, this relationship both has or the roles I play both as a mentor and mentee. One thing I have learned in my life and my career is I will never stop learning from any interaction. So that's something, I think a keyword for me when it comes to mentoring, that is learning. And that is learning not only for the mentees, but learning for mentors as well. Because it's enriching experience when you interact with young people and you learn a lot from that experience, which will help you as well. So that is one of the things, why we should help or help the mentees. Okay. So thanks for your inputs. Moving on. What is a mentor? Right now, we all understand what a mentor should do or what mentees expect from mentor. So let's get a little bit technical. Let's look at the dictionary definition of a mentor. Right? Very first thing, a lot of people ask me whether it is pronounced as a mentor or as a mentor. Both pronunciations are correct. Both pronunciations are acceptable as per the dictionary. Dictionary definition of a mentor or mentor is an experienced or trusted advisor, or someone who is positive, guiding in influence in other, usually younger person's life. So it is used in that word. When it is used as a noun, mentor or mentor is also a verb. It can be also used as a transitive word, which means to advise or train someone, especially a younger colleague. Right? Origin of this word mentor or mentor came into English language in mid-18th century via French and Latin. It came from a Greek word mentor, which was the name of an advisor. Okay, there is very interesting story how this word mentor came to mean what it means today. Okay, so in a Greek mythology, you might have heard Homer's Odyssey, right? It is kind of, in the Greek mythology, it is kind of our Ramayana or Mahabharata story. So in the Odyssey, the king Odysseus, he was away for fighting wars and journey for almost 20-25 years. When he went to fight all those wars, he left his son Telemachus with his trusted friend and advisor, or Pradhanji, whatever you want to call it. That person's name was Mentor, right? He was an old, wise, trusted guy. His name was Mentor. And goddess Athena, who in the Greek mythology is a goddess of wisdom, goddess Athena, when she thought that now Telemachus is young enough to learn the things of the life, she disguised herself as a mentor, as this advisor, and took young Telemachus away on a journey to find his father. But when throughout that journey to find his father, she also taught, disguised as a mentor, a lot of life lessons to this prince Telemachus. From that day onwards, or from that story, the word mentor came to mean as someone who is a positive or guiding influence on a younger person's life. So this is a dictionary definition of mentor, right? And how the word came about. Now, what is mentoring actually, right? What mentoring means in this context? So a lot of things you already mentioned. I'm just summarizing it, what you already said, right? And adding some of my own things. So someone rightly said, I think Abba said in one of the quotes, mentoring is a personal relationship. And why mentoring is different from a coaching? I will come to coach or a manager. I'll come to that in a moment. But the key difference is mentoring is a personal relationship which is exempt from a pressure of performance, right? When you look at something as a mentor, he is or she is not the person who is your manager typically. So there is no expectation of meeting revenue targets. There is no expectation of completing a work in a given time. No expectation of like your deliverables. That's why the mentoring relationship is important, because it is something which is outside the pressure of showing performance result, right? Obviously, you have goals, you have targets, you want to get something out of the mentoring, but that's something is not, your manager or your coach will put as your performance goals. That's something not is tied to your revenue. It is not something which is tied to your, if you are in working professional life, it is not something which is tied to your annual appraisals or hikes or something like that. It will help you reach there, but the results of these relationships are not tied to that, right? Uh, Mentoring is also helping somebody build their self-esteem, giving them confidence. You already said that. Are you still seeing my screen? I think it still okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, Yogi.
Okay.
It's in.
Yeah. Okay. Someone already said that, listen, right? So mentoring is providing a soundboard. Lot of times you would have seen or observed, you go to somebody to explain your problem, and oftentimes you do not actually need a solution from them. Explaining the problem themselves, or someone listening to you with sympathy and empathy, that itself helps clear your own thought process. So that is something mentoring is also providing a sounding board, right? Advising people in their careers, right? This is kind of a known part, right? That is something a mentor do. But when you are advising, it is mentor typically will not tell you you do this or you don't do this. But mentoring is more like nudging them into new areas or expertise, nudging them into direction, motivating them to go into the direction. Also serving as a kind of a role model for the mentees. So whenever you are having these mentoring sessions for the students now or in the future, it's not only what you say, but the mentees also learn from the way you talk to them, way you interact with them and other people, right? So act as a role model, how you have reached to that journey, right? Where you are in the current place, and what you can learn from not only the things you did right, but also with the things you did wrong, right? That also helps a lot. And I think Abhay, you already mentioned that, like learning from others, right? Mentoring is also providing support, giving feedback, giving uh, advice. And I think I have duplication there as a sounding board. Um, uh, Helping them gain a sense of competence, right? Uh, Obviously help them with a personal and professional development, right? With your expertise. One thing mentoring is not is mentor does not have a personal or organizational agenda or a direct stake in your success. And that's why the mentoring relationship very important, because unlike a coach or a manager, a mentor does not have a personal or organizational agenda, right? And sometimes these are interchangeable. I mean, sometimes your coach or sometimes your manager can act as a mentor, or sometimes your mentor acts as your coach. But typically, mentoring does not involve having a direct personal agenda, right? Because you are reaching out to somebody for help, advice. If you do those things or you do not those things, it is not going to impact mentor. Unlike a coach or manager, if you don't do your work, it eventually it affects the manager, or it affects coach, because it impacts their revenue targets, it impacts their commitments, it impacts their deliverables. So that's a big difference between a coach and a manager, right? One thing as a mentor everyone should remember is uh, it is little bit of a balancing thing, right? You advise people, you nudge people in the direction, but the idea is not create someone into your own image, right? You should be giving them opportunity to create themselves using your experience, but not create clone of you. Don't force anybody's thought process in the direction which you are thinking, but enable them for their own thought process, right? Give them the opportunity to create. Okay. Advise them. I think I already said about that, right? Advise the people, nudge them into new areas of expertise. Okay. Mentoring is, again, because it is outside the pressure of performance, it is outside the organization agenda. Don't look at the mentoring as a ticket to top. Don't look it as something, you align yourself with somebody who can help you going promotion. I mean, they will help you in indirect way, but not something like, okay, stick to this person because I know he can, make some shortcuts and give me promotion. So don't look at mentoring as something like a direct ticket to the tops. Mentors are more like off the field coaches who are sharing their advice. Sometimes they can step in as coaches, but more or less it's an indirect relationship. And that's why it has a potential to become successful, because they do not have a stake or agenda of their own in your success.
Yogi, if you allow, can I add
Sure.
something here?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the second last statement is really very, very important. No personal or organizational agenda or direct stake in success. But the last part of that thing, direct stake in success, I feel he or she will enjoy your success. Stake in terms of monetary or something like that, I completely agree on that. But even if you are, if you like, if Yogesh is my mentor, and if I am following him word to word, or if I'm producing result the way you are anticipating, I think you will enjoy that journey, and maybe that will flourish the collaboration in a much better way. That I think I completely agree with the second last statement, but just I wanted to add that, because
Yeah.
it is a
And
there's no give and take, but at the same time, if you adhere to the commitments, I think it may flourish like one of the best relationship for you.
absolutely, Abhay. And the direct stake is a keyword here, right? I won't say no stake, right? Because if you are mentoring somebody, their success or their failure uh, will affect you in the sense that, okay, you will take pride in their success. But when I say direct, and that's why I want to highlight that word direct stake, because because there is no personal agent or direct stake, as a mentor, it in fact enables you to give a direction which might be useful for their long-term growth rather than just immediate growth, which for a manager or as a coach, their focus is more on the
Results.
immediate results,
Yeah.
because they have a direct stake in your success or failure.
Yeah,
And great
and
point,
just
Abhay.
to yeah, and just to add, Yogi, even if you have done some mistake, you will try me to avoid that,
Absolutely.
and
And
that
manager might not tell you those things.
exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly, he will
Absolutely.
feel shy, or he will try to
Yeah.
hide those failures. So here there is a relationship which is really open ended. There are no mutual commitments as such, but if you really stick to your commitments, it will deliver results in true sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. Abhay. So all this to summarize, right? A mentoring, it's not a formal relationship. It is not meant to help with day-to-day development. Instead, it's more like a guide for the whole journey, right? Not just a short-term journey. Okay? So moving on, right? Benefits of mentoring. Now, we spoke a little bit about what mentoring means for different set of people, right? Now, what are some of the benefits? And I will little bit in interest of time, will not spend a lot of time on this one because we already spoke and we already understand some of that things, right? But the benefits for mentees, they are pretty obvious actually, right? Because they gain practical advice, they get encouragement, they learn from experience of the others, right? It helps them increase their social and academic confidence. It feels them more empowered. There are a lot of studies which show that students or even people at the beginning of their professional career are almost 50 to 60% of more chance of succeeding if they get right mentorship at a right time, right? There are a lot of factors into that, especially if you're a student, right? A lot of people whose parents are well connected get better mentors because through their parents connection. And this is one thing why we are starting this mentoring exercise, right? To give this opportunity to connect people with the mentors for everybody, regardless of their own prior connections, their parents connections and all. So for mentee, I'm not going to read through this, right? But we all understand how the relationship benefits the mentees, benefits the students, right? They gain insights from our experience. We can help them identify goals and establish a sense of direction. We can give them short-term advice on their very specific requirements, on their very specific things they're asking. The big advantage is, this relationship will help mentees build their own network, right? Challenging their assumptions, bringing them out of their comfort zone, giving them advice. So we all understand that. But when some of us might think, okay, I understand that how it helps the students, how it helps the mentee, but why should I spend my time doing this? I'm a busy person. I have so much personal and professional commitments. What it is in for me? So apart from all the things, how this relationship helps mentors, there are a lot of benefits for mentees. There are a lot of benefits for mentors too, right? And this should answer some of your questions, like why we should spend our time mentoring three or four students or that, right? So a lot of benefits for mentees. As a mentor, when you talk to the students, it improves your own communication and personal skills. It develops leadership and management qualities in you. And I keep saying this, right? Mentorship does not mean that only people with 20 years experience can do that. Even if you are a first year engineering student, you can mentor students from the high school, right? So this will help develop your own leadership and management qualities. When you talk to others, when you share your ideas and skills with other people, it helps you reinforce your own thought process. It helps you reinforce your own skills and your own knowledge in your own area of subject expertise. It will increase your confidence and motivation, right? All these are kind of, feel good things. But at the same time, there are some practical benefits to it. It helps enhance your CVs. A lot of organizations are looking at your voluntary activities, at your extracurricular activities. This is something you can put in your CV that I'm mentoring 6 students. It will help you when you go for your promotion, right? It enhances your network, not only the mentees network, right? You get recognition through your skills and experience. And not last but not the least, as Abba already mentioned, it benefits you from a sense of fulfillment and personal growth, right? It because when you see a student you have been mentoring being successful or reaching for their potential or achieving the things which you think they are capable of achieving, there is no less satisfaction. There is no satisfaction lesser than that, right? To seeing someone you are guiding becoming successful. So it benefits from that source of fulfillment and personal growth. And there's one more point I don't have here. I have that on the other slide, but I want to highlight is like this is something kind of a paid forward, because as Abba said in the beginning, when we were studying, we do not have those many avenues to reach out to people. So regardless of that, right, we are here today because other people helped us coming us here in direct or indirect way. So some of that you should use this mentoring as an opportunity to pay it forward, right? So those are some of the benefits for mentor and mentees. I will leave you with another thought. Have you thought about something called as reverse mentoring? What I meant by reverse mentoring is, especially in today's technological world, today's world of knowledge industry, it is not just the senior people are helping the students or younger generation. Reverse mentoring reverse mentoring is something where younger people mentor more senior folks, right? Especially the areas like current technology trends, collaboration practices, social tools, right? Their perspective of life. You can learn a lot from how young people think their perspective on life is. Especially, I'm pretty sure, even though you are a student, you are helping your elders, your parents or grandparents, learning how to use WhatsApp. You are mentoring them in a way how to use the social platforms, how to use the new collaboration practices. So especially in the IT world, right, you can see that younger people know much better about technology, much more about technology. And even though you are less experience, you can still mentor somebody in your field of expertise. Okay, so that is another benefit of mentoring. When you are talking to students, helping them, you also learn the new things from you, which you might not otherwise have learned, right? Now, I think I'm just looking at the time, so we have another 15-20 minutes left. So I think we have enough time to cover, but let's see. So some of the things, do's and don'ts, I want to highlight from this relationship, right? So what a mentor should typically do. Now we all understand what mentoring is, and we already spoke what we are looking as a mentors to gain from this relationship. So how to make this relationship successful, right? So what a mentor should do, some of the things is, everyone rightly says, listen, right? This is the very first thing. We should be listening as a mentors to the problems, and not only to the problems, but also ideas of the mentees, right? You should share your experiences, expertise, knowledge, that's a given. But when I say you should share your experiences, it is not just what I did right kind of stories, right? You should also share with them what you did wrong stories and how it helped you to improve. So they can learn from your mistakes. Like, the life is very short in my mind to learn from our own mistakes, right? If we are not learning from other people's mistake, then we are wasting a lot of our time learning the things by doing the same mistakes again and again. So not only share experience of what we did right, but also share the experience of what you did wrong, right? Help them with the goal setting, right? So these are some of the things, right? Help discover and develop their interest, help build their network. Throughout the relationship, remain positive. Very important, be available, right? Because when as a mentor, when you are committing to 2 or 3 or even one mentee, you should make sure that you are available for them at that time. And when I say available, not just physically available, but also mentally available, right? So if you are having this say 30-minute session, one-on-one session with a mentor, and you same time while talking to them, you are looking at your phone, you are answering your messages, that's not going to help you, that's not going to help the mentee. So be available physically, be available mentally, be available for them, right? And it is not only during that one-on-one session, it is also when they want to reach you out. Be available, establish the avenues of communication when you start a relationship with the mentors. And I'll come to that, how to do that in a moment. But be available, be reachable when they need, and set your boundaries, right? It is not that you expect them to call in the midnight. So set some boundaries. Set what are your preferred modes of communication if a mentee wants to reach you out. Okay. So being available, provide guidance, provide constructive feedback, point out their mistakes, but also provide some way how they can go around rectifying those. Encouragement and motivate, right? And very important, value the opinions and initiatives of the other. Just it is not a one-way street, right? Listen to them, right? I think in my mind there is nothing more important than listening. Sometimes it just helps listen with empathy when and that itself helps to solve their problems in their own minds. Okay. Encourage the people to take on new projects and challenge, right? As a mentor, there are 3 C's of mentoring, and that is something a mentor should do. One role a mentor plays is a consultant. That is very obvious role, right? Give them guidance, give them advantage of or share your expertise, right? Give them the your specialized knowledge. Other role is a counselor, where you provide the guidance, enable them to think on their thought, nudge them to a right direction, but help them find out the direction by themselves. Don't give them the solutions. And the third C is cheerleader, right? Motivate them, encourage them, advise them. Okay. So because a lot of times it helps for a young person to know that there is somebody out there who is rooting for their success. So cheerleader is another dues of mentor. Some of the things mentor should not do or not expected to do is, and this is very important to understand if you are a mentee too, right? Or if you're a student too. Mentor is not someone which will solve your problem for you, right? So they will help you solve your problem. They will give you direction, but don't go with their problem. Like especially if you're a student, if you have some technical problem or problem related to study, probably mentor is not a right person to reach out for that. That's somebody like your coach or your teacher can do the job best. But use mentor as a more like, at a short, longer term goal to nudge you the direction, give you direction, that perspective. Do not take over their work and do not do their work as a mentor, right? Typically, as a mentor, you're not supposed to help the students with their day-to-day classwork, their assignment and all. As I said, teachers can do that better than you. Do not force them in your direction. Do not try to build them as your mirror image, right? Guide them into find their own thought process. Very important, do not use the sense of obligation. I keep saying that that's more like an informal relationship. So you do not expect a mentee to listen to you just because you are senior, or don't use that okay they have some obligation towards you, because unless they understand that it is in their own interest to find their own path, forcing them to use that sense of obligation is not going to help in this relationship. And more importantly, do not condemn or criticize their action. Give a constructive feedback, but do not criticize their ways. So some of these things, do's and don'ts of the mentorship. On the other side, some of the do's and don'ts for the mentees to make this relationship more successful, right? So what should a mentee do, right? Take initiative, because in this relationship, as a student or as a mentee, you are the ones who need to take the initiative. It is not a formal relationship where mentor is spending 30 minutes of a week with you on a given time and on a given schedule. So you should take the initiative to reach out, to find a good time, to find set up those meetings with them. You should reach out to seek help. I keep on saying this again, right? Number one reason people do not help others is nobody asks for their help. They do not know that the help is needed. So reach out to seek help, right? Of course, everybody makes mistakes, but then learn from it, right? With the help of your mentor. Be prepared to give your best. Take responsibility of your thoughts and your actions. Do not try to divert the blame to situation that, okay, I didn't do this because of this. There are valid reasons, but do not try to avoid the responsibility. Be open to new things and feedback, because as a mentor, he's someone senior, not only in terms of number of years, but in terms of their area of expertise, right? So value their feedback. Be open to learning new things. Go with an open mind, not with a closed mind, like, okay, what this guy is going to tell me, right? Ask questions. Be prepared to ask questions. And I'll talk a bit about that, right? Plan ahead, like whenever you are mentoring session, going for a mentoring session, have a list of questions ready, what you want to ask to that mentor. Do a little bit of research on the mentor. What is their area of expertise? What things they do the best, right? So some of that thing, right? Be ready to ask the question. Support your peers, right? Pay it forward. And what I meant by that is, when I was doing this with some of the students earlier, a couple of months ago, one of the things which came is, okay, I know one of my other friend who needs some help, but she's shy to ask. So how do I do this, right? So support your friends. When you are established this relationship with a mentor, help them understand what are the advantage of this relationship, so that help them find their own mentors, right? Pay it forward. As I keep saying that, you know, if you are a first year student, when you go to second year, third year, pay it forward. Try to mentor them in the things you learn. And very important, be clear on your needs and have a plan. Be accountable to your mentor, right? Some of the things mentees should not do is, again, it is a mirror image of this. So I already spoke some of that. You don't avoid the difficulties. Do not avoid the difficulties. If something you think difficult, just raise the question. Do not sidestep your work, right? Do not stay in your comfort zone. You might feel shy. You might feel, how do I reach to these people who is like 20 years senior to me, right? Come out of your comfort zone. Do not bottle the things up, right? Even if it is not a formal mentor, it is generally true for your life, right? Do not bottle up the things. Reach out to people. There are people to help you, okay? Do not let your shyness or ego get in a way of reaching out to mentors. And, you know, sometimes it is a shyness that how to reach, but sometimes it is ego too. Hey, I know everything. What this guy is going to help me? Is he superior than me? That's something of ego, right? And do not be afraid to disagree. This is very important, right? Whenever you are talking to mentor, if you have a valid point, do not be shy to put your thoughts together. Do not be shy or afraid to disagree with your mentor, okay? But do it politely. Do it in a courteous way, not just kind of, you know, blast through the things. But some of these do's and don't. Now, having gone through this, how do you make this relationship a success? And I wanted to actually spend another 30 seconds here. We still have another 12 minutes left, so I think we can do that, right? How to make this mentoring a success? So can you put some thoughts? What do you think, having heard me talking for last few minutes? And just don't give one line answer saying that follow the do's and don't do the don'ts, right? But other than that, what are your thoughts how to make this mentoring relationship a success? 60 seconds. You can type in. And Rohit, can I request you again to monitor the chat, please?
Yes, sir. Rohit is not available. I will help you out.
Sure. Thanks, Manali.
Yogesh, can I take few minutes?
Yes.
Yogesh, I think what you have presented here is very precisely presented, but one factor is very important between the mentor and mentee, that the trust factor should be created while doing all those things. So things will get easy. There should be the connection between the mentor and mentee, and how to develop that trust factor from both the sides. That's very important to bring this relationship as a successful venture. That's very
Absolutely.
simple. Yeah.
Absolutely,
if there is no
Sachin.
trust,
And
things will not.
I have something on that on this slide. That's why I just kind of put a blank slide here. Before I go there,
Yeah.
I want to hear thoughts of others, both from students as well as, and that is very important point, Sachin, right? Having this, establish this trust, and how to do that. I'll talk briefly how to do that too.
Right. So if
We
the
have
trust is
response
there,
from.
the things will be more easy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, Manali, go ahead. I think there is a response.
Yeah. Yeah, we have response from Mr. Abhijit Kale. It's saying that consistent, serious, disciplined collaboration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I have few thoughts on that. I will talk about that, how to do that too. Anybody else? Anything else?
Yeah, we are expecting from basically from studentship, please.
Yeah. So for the students, right, you heard me talking about what a mentee should or should not do. So what do you think, how to make it a successful relationship? And I think very good points by Sachin and Abba. Like trust is very important. Preparation is very important.
Suyash is saying that commitment between mentor and mentee.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Kashmira is saying open and honest communication.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Mr. Deepak Jadhav is saying respect each other.
Awesome. So again, right, you guys did not need this presentation. You know what you want to get out of this. So shall we move on, Manali, or we are getting some more answers?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Okay,
So
sorry, we have another response that starting point is important and break the ice.
Perfect. Right. And I think, okay, you covered all those points I wanted to say. I will just add little more thoughts on my side, right? Very first step is find the right mentor. And Sachin, you absolutely said that, right? When you look up somebody as a mentor, right? Even before you start this relationship as a mentor and mentee, it is very important to establish that trust, right? Now, how do you find a mentor? How do you find a right mentor? How do you know that this person is right? So that's why we have this organization, right? That's why we are doing as a part of RAAH, creating this framework. But the best place to look for a right mentor is within your network, right? Think of some of the things, right? Of the people you know directly or indirectly, some of the people who do you admire and respect, who do you think you can trust to give you right guidance, right? Who has impressed you with their insights or where they have reached in their life journey. Not only that, it is very, as Abba said, it is very important to establish this connection between. So that all things might be good, right? There might be people, but do you feel comfortable with them? So one of these things in finding a right mentor, who are the people you feel more comfortable being around? Who are the people you think that will guide you correctly, right? So this person can be a leader, this person can be your teacher, or this person can be on your extended or direct network, someone with a lot of experience, especially in the area of you want to, take your life journey. Once you find this person, ask that person if they would consider being your mentee, right? Let them know also why you chose that person, right? That will help you establish this connection between these two people. Because explain something like, okay, because I want to do, just I'm giving some example, right? I want to start my own business, and I see that you started your company 10 years ago, and I was looking through your journey, and as I said, do a little bit of a research on their LinkedIn profile. Do not dig too deep into their personal life, but at least to their LinkedIn profile, what they have done, what their current role is, and some of the things to help to build that connect, right? So let them know why you chose that particular person to be your mentor and why you think that there is a connection there, right? Make sure your goals align with their expertise and experience. Because again, if your goal is to become a uh, aeronautical engineer, you probably are not better off if you pick as a mentor with somebody in an entirely different field, right? There are different types of mentors. Something like professional mentor. So professional mentor is someone who can help you to stay current in your profession, right? So if you are a IT or if you are a student of a computer science, your professional mentor could be something who is working in IT industry, who can help you understand the current trends in that particular profession. If similarly like teachers, similarly like industrials, like if you want to work in a manufacturing factory, then professional mentor could be someone who is working in that particular profession for a while, right? So they can help you how to change your career, how to manage your career, how you can bounce your ideas with them in their field of expertise. So this is one type of mentor. Another type of mentor is an industry mentor. Like, for example, if you are a, 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 if if you want to work in a specific industry like aeronautical industry or airline or banking or retail industry, or even you want to become a teacher or a professor. So industry mentor is someone who can help you provide insights into that particular industry. They can help you identify trends. They can help you identify the competitors' challenges specifically faced by that industry, right? So there could be professional mentors, there could be industrial mentors. The person could be a work-life mentor, right? That is a person who can help you understand your own desires to have a full and happy life in and out of your professional life, right? There is something like organizational mentor also. So what I mean by organizational mentor is, if you are a student in a college, right, that person could be somebody who is your senior student. Or if you are just starting your professional life in a company, that person could be somebody who is in that particular organization for 4, 5, 10 years, right? Organizational mentor is someone who can help you navigate your college process, procedures, who is who in the company, right? So which department is doing what, breaking through the organizational boundaries, making connections to different departments or different groups in the boundaries, and some of those things, right? So different types of mentors are there. So very important step is to find a right mentor. Okay, have a plan, right? What do you want to, where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years from now? What skills do you want to build? What are your strengths? What are your areas of improvement, or what are your weaknesses? So have a plan. When you are going, it requires effort, it requires commitment and follow through from both the sides, both mentor and mentee, right, to make this relationship a success. So what I mean by requires effort, right, you should have a clear understanding of what this relationship is going to look like. Okay, so very beginning of the relationship, establish objective of the mentoring relationship, what you want to get out of this relationship. As I said, there are different kind of mentors for different things, so you might have more than one mentors. So keep those boundaries, right? Before you start, have a chat with mentor, how to give the feedback and how often. Also decide how often you are going to meet. Are you going to meet once in a month? Are you going to meet once in a week? Are you going to meet once in 3 months? How you are going to meet? What is your best mode of communication? Some of these logistical things, actually, I have seen everything else is going fine, but some of these logistical things kind of break apart this relationship because you have not determined how you are going to reach out to your mentor. How often? What is the best way to reach them? Is it through email? Is it through a phone call? Is it through WhatsApp message? So decide on these things in the very first meeting you met with the mentor, right? Set up the meetings. It is responsibility of the mentee to set up a next meeting, right? So talk to them when you are finishing a meeting with your mentor, that, okay, you gone prepared, you got your questions answered, everything is fine. But then what is the next time you are going to meet? And what are the things your mentor is expecting you to do before you meet next time? If you decide, okay, let us meet after 2 months, while you are in the meeting itself, it's a good idea to pick up your calendar or notebook, decide on a date and decide on a time and decide on a place how you're going to do that. So some of these things are very important. I have seen the relationship fail because of this rather than any other things. So be prepared. That's very key. Another thing is keeping the information confidential, right? I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. There is something called as a GROW model, right? Goal, reality, options, and will. I think we are reaching at the end, but I'll just take a couple more minutes. Okay, so set up your goals. But also when you are having this mentoring session, align your goals with the reality, right? What is working? What is not working? Right? Explore your options, and mentor will help you explore your options. If this A doesn't work, what is a fallback plan? Have you tried option B? And then all of this will create a will in you to success. And please understand, even though I say it is GROW model, it's not like, one shot, like you don't set a goal and then explore the option and you win. In reality, it will end up being something like, instead of GROW, it end up something like GRR, GROW, right? So make this iterative process. Okay. Keep it going. Meet regularly. As I said, make time for your mentoring relationship for both mentors and mentees. Make sure you keep that time aside, unobstructive, not looking at your phones for both mentor and mentees. right? Go prepared for those meetings. Have an agenda before meeting, that what you are going to discuss in this meeting. And keep on the agenda, not only just have the agenda, but keep on the agenda. I mean, of course, the friendly chit chat is fine, but please understand that when you are meeting somebody with 20, 30 years experience and they are giving time for you, you make sure you make most out of that time. Okay. So these are some of the things which will, make this relationship successful for both mentors and mentees. Now, quickly moving on to the next step. I know we are 1 minute over, but I'll just take a couple more minutes. What's next, right? We spoke about this. Now, what it means from RAAH perspective, what we are going to do for our students, right? So some of the things we thought was, we'll take the students right from the first year. At the first year, it will be just a beginning. Students are getting set in their school. They're getting to know themselves. They're getting to know their friends. And probably at the end of first year, sometime when they are done with their other priority things, try to find a mentor, because by that time their thought process is little clearer what they want to do. When it comes to the second year, we start setting goals for the students, or students start setting goals from themselves, develop interest areas, right? What is good for them, what they start like and what they don't like. By the time they're in the third year, we should help them build their soft skills, build their network, and plan for what they're going to do after engineering. So that is something at least we should start by the time they reach their third year, right? During their final year of engineering, as a mentors, we can help them build their resumes, CVs, build their interview skills, help them with the job search. If they want to go for higher education, help them with the PG applications process, right? Help them review their applications, especially if they plan to apply for foreign universities, right? That application process, that is an essay and all those things. So help them with that. So these are some of the things we can do in their final year. And then the relationship does not end there. So even beyond they have completed or graduated from RIT and they are entering into their higher studies or their careers, right? This relationship still continues. As a mentors, we can help them enhance their network, give them career guidance. And again, as I keep saying, pay it forward. So when you do that, when you go for higher studies, when you go for your career, try to give it back something to the new students, new batch of the students, right? Become a mentor yourself. So that's something I see as a RAAH community, we will do for students like throughout their whole, these 3-4 years of journey. From a practical perspective, what we are doing, I think Abba briefly mentioned that, Manzoor or Abba. So we are already building a mentor directory. A lot of you have raised your hands and said that I'm ready to help. So we are preparing that directory. That information we are also making available on a RAAH website, which is still work in progress. So with that, we'll help the mentors and mentee connect with each other, help students find right mentors from them. And once that relationship is established as a RAAH, I would like us to take a step back, right? Step out of that relationship and then let the mentor and mentee run their relationship, grow their relationship, either via group sessions or one-on-one meeting. As I said, communicate through email, phone messages. To be frank with you, in a mentor-mentee relationship, I'm not a big fan of group sessions because it's more a personal relationship. It works best in my mind. You might mentor 3 or 4 or 5 students based on your bandwidth and availability. But my request is try to do it one-on-one. There could be some common sessions where you are going to talk about, say, soft skills or presentation skill or something. By all means, go for a larger group. But more or less, keep this relationship to a shorter group, preferably one-on-one. So that's something we are planning as a RAAH. Thank you for your time. Thanks for listening. And Abba mentioned, I love quotes, right? I love good quotes. So this is a quote I like from Michelle Obama. And this is something kind of motivation for me to do this exercise, right? So what she says in her book called Becoming is, we should always have 3 friends in your lives. One friend who walks ahead of us, who we look up to and we follow them. One friend who walks beside us, who is with us with every step of our journey. And then we should also have one friend who we reach out back and bring them along after we have cleared the way. So that in my mind explains mentoring very well, right? So we have a mentor, We have some friends who are at the same part of our journey. So we help them find their own mentors, right? They're our peers. And at the same time, we have some people whom we are mentoring. So that's why I keep saying, like, even if you're a first year student, right? If you can help a students from high school to see what you have gone through, that's always good. That will help yourself. So with that, I thank you for listening me. And I have RAAH email IDs here. So if you want to reach out, to me, you know where to find me. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for contributing.
Thanks indeed, Yogesh, for a wonderful session. I think you have said it all. We wanted to have a open forum, but I don't know, it's already 10:36. So maybe for next 5-10 minutes, if any senior member or student, especially student, has any specific doubt for you or anybody else on the call here, I will appreciate their question. Or otherwise, I'll request some of the expert comments from some of the senior alumni. From student community, anybody who wants to raise hand or ask a question? Somebody open the mic.
Abba,
Yes, Manju.
we have Rajendra Pal Singh, RT Singh sir, the senior alumni. So if you wish, he can express his views.
Yeah, sure.
Singh sir.
Hello.
Ha, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Singhji, please proceed with your expert comments, please, on today's session.
I'm sorry, I was unable to listen the complete one, but it was very nice. And it's my general comment that everyone's contribution and the sincerity is really bringing to all of us very close. And I really like the approach of the seniors, and you all are doing your job very well. And definitely our new students of the RIT will get the benefit of this one and all the sectors, and you are supporting in a very nice way. And every time I'm getting the messages, but sometimes I'm unable to attend. But I always love to be with you, and every time I enjoy the sessions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think, Yogi, like you said, I really liked one minute, Ramesh. One concept which you mentioned, reverse mentoring. And I think we had one discussion about this, updating skills for alumni also. So that's where we can have a mutual collaboration. On our website, we should have that section also created, wherein if alumni wants to pick up some new skills, they can learn from students or younger alumni, and that will really set a good tone for mutual communication. Yes, Ramesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, Yogesh, first of all, it was very nice, excellent, and really useful session. I missed for initial 15-20 minutes, but it was my unfortunate. I will listen it again or hear it again once it has been posted by Manali. What I want to ask you, you said in mentor-mentee, it is always better to go with one-to-one. So should it be, you are talking about the figures like one-to-one means one mentor, one mentee, or one mentor, 5 mentees, or multiple mentees?
Okay. So, let me explain a bit on that. I did not mean that one mentor should take only one mentee. What I'm saying is, if you have bandwidth, you can mentor 4, 5, how much your student. But what I'm saying is, don't do this as a group session, right? If you have 5 mentees, try to do one-on-one with each one of them, because everybody's problem are different. One thing. Other thing is sometimes people are shy to talk in the group, and this is more informal relationship. So in my experience, it helps to if you do those sessions one-on-one, right? So if you have 5 mentees, maybe you have to find 5 slots for 30 minutes each or whatever time you decide at different times. But don't do, you know what I mean? Don't do like all 5 together, and that is fine. Like if you are planning to do something like, you know, after listening from everyone, okay, everyone wants to do a session on soft skills, so those are kind of specific sessions you can do. But more or less when you are talking as a mentor mentee on giving them, guiding them, it, my opinion, it's more useful when
It
you do
that
one person
means,
at a time.
yeah, that means if subject is not common, if subject is common, we are trying to take
Yeah,
jointly. But even for their individual or their personal grievances, you can say,
yeah,
it is required
absolutely.
to be attended individually. So they
I'm
will
not
be
saying it is
more open.
required. I'm not saying it is required, but in my experience, it is more meaningful and more successful if you do it that way.
Okay, okay, okay. That's
Because
what I want
sometimes,
to
right?
have.
Sometimes we kind of confuse these words with mentoring and teaching, or mentoring and giving something, right? So from that perspective, I know Manali and Ratan had raised their hands. So
Sir, I just want to read the comment of my very good friend. And first of all, I would like to introduce her actually. So Yogeshwari is from same batch, 2019, and though being electronics and telecommunication engineer, she is working in education field, and currently she is working for students in a small village in Marathwada, and her area of expertise is primary education. So she has posted a comment in Marathi that योगेश सर, मी शिक्षण क्षेत्रात काम करतेय व मला सध्या मुलांबरोबर काम करताना शिक्षकापेक्षा मेंटरची गरज जास्त आहे असं जाणवतं व ते मला प्रत्यक्षात करावंही लागतं. इथे काम करताना एकाच वेळी मला मेंटर व मेंटीच्या भूमिकेत असावं लागतं. मला तुम्ही सांगितलेला एक मुद्दा पटला व महत्वाचा वाटला. याची मला पुढे फार मदत होईल आणि या सेशनसाठी खूप खूप धन्यवाद.
okay,
थँक्यू
thank you,
योगेश्वरी.
Yogeshwari. And I think I keep harping on this point, right? की प्रत्येक वेळी प्रत्येक जण मेंटर आणि मेंटी ह्या दोन्ही रोल करत असतो, right? And it is very true. And especially,
Yes, sir.
you know, especially, you know, first of all, thanks for what you are doing. Current primary education, I think if we can do these things from very young age, that will help a lot. So first of all, thanks for what you are doing. आणि काही जर तुला मदत पाहिजे असेल किंवा इफ यू वॉन्ट टू डू सम सेशन्स प्रायमरी मुलांसाठी हे, तर फील फ्री टू रीच मी आउट. आय कॅन हेल्प आउट विथ दॅट.
इनफॅक्ट
नक्की सर,
योगी
नक्की.
योगी मी तिला जो 6 महिने झालं माग आहे. शी शुड कम अँड टॉक टू आवर फोरम, बिकॉज आय नो, आय थिंक मनाली हॅड टोल्ड मी योगेश्वरीवर बोललो पण होतो. So I think she's really doing really great work. So I think she had taken some time, but now Yogeshwari, you should come out and share what exactly you are doing.
हा, घेऊयात सर, घेऊयात.
Yeah, I think Yogi, we have some good friends, and now I will really ask them to talk if they are there. संदीप उथळे पण आहे. संदीप आहेस का?
Yes, Abba, I am there.
Can
And
you just share your feedback or opinion?
I was about to come up. And first, Yogesh, really it was really in-depth understanding what entire team today received regarding mentorship and both the roles like mentee and mentorship. Now I think yes, definitely RAAH team would be further working on this. But now I think we have reached to that level that we have understood both the roles, and now it is something we need to practically materialize the things. And I think Abba just slightly connected to that point that now I think RAAH should act as a linking point between mentee and mentors. So probably we can take some interest areas from mentors. For example, if they are like expert of some businesses or something like that, and they want to give some knowledge to the others, they can put forward their interest area. At the same time, students should be interested to understand something of their interest. So we need to bridge the gap. We need to have listed people that okay, these many people are there and they want to do their mentorship in XYZ areas. At the same time, there are students who want to do understand in XYZ. So let's do that. आपण म्हणतो मराठीमध्ये की ते जोड्या लावायचं काम आपल्याला राहामध्ये करायचं आहे. I think that will solve the purpose and we can move forward.
ऍब्सोल्युटली संदीप. आणि आपल्याला तू जो म्हणालास ना जोड्या लावायचं काम करायचं आणि दॅट इज वेअर आय थिंक आपण ॲज अ राहा किंवा ऑर्गनायझेशन व्हॅल्यू ऍड करू शकतो. कारण बऱ्याचदा आपल्याकडे मेंटर म्हणजे बऱ्याच जणांनी आपल्याकडे मेंटर पण अवेलेबल आहेत राईट की ओके वी कॅन डू दिस बट दे डोंट नो हाऊ टू गो हेड. आणि स्टुडंट्स पण आहेत की ज्यांना बेनिफिट होऊ शकतो पण दे डोंट नो हाऊ टू गो अबाउट इट ऑल्सो. तर once that has happened, right, it is up to them to take that relationship. And that's why I said as a RAAH we should little bit step back once we make that connect.
Yeah, absolutely. So you in your presentation also you covered that point that people shy away, they don't start. So really that starting point is really important. Once relation is started, then it's going on. So we have the RAAH point of view, we should act that as a starting point, and I think then we will create great relationships further.
करेक्ट. आणि अजून एक संदीप ना एक तर की लोक शाय अवे करतात स्टुडंट्स आणि दुसरी गोष्ट फ्रॉम माय एक्सपिरियन्स बऱ्याचदा असं होतं की ज्यांचे पेरेंट्स वेल कनेक्टेड आहेत अशा स्टुडंटना थोडेसे मेंटर्स वगैरे चांगले मिळतात का पेरेंट्स त्यांना कनेक्ट करून देतात की यु नो दिस अंकल इज देअर, ही इज हॅज ओन इंडस्ट्री, तर वाय डोंट यू गो अँड टॉक टू देम. इथं पण मी तेच बघतो आणि इव्हन इंडियात पण ते ट्रू आहे. तर बऱ्याचदा आपल्याकडचे जे स्टुडंट्स आहेत दे आर कमिंग फ्रॉम अ रुरल बॅकग्राऊंड, तर त्यांना कोणाला कनेक्ट करता येईल किंवा नेटवर्क अजून तेवढं बनलेलं नसतं. तर तिथं आपण राहा म्हणून मदत करू शकतो की ऍटलिस्ट यु नो ते नेटवर्क बनवण्यासाठी. अँड that's I think where we can add more value.
I think Yogi, the most important point is awareness. To be very frank, I think Dr. Sachin wants to talk, but Sachin, just 1 minute. I'll just make my point before we conclude. So the thing is that Yogi, any person, if you get I think a good guru in that sense, a good mentor, and at right age, at right time, I think it really helps you a lot. But unfortunately, that awareness, I think, see the number of students available right now on the call, in spite of our consistent efforts. I've been mentoring some of the students and some of the already graduated students. And when I see out of 10, when they ask me first for job, I ask their parents or whoever has referred to tell that guy to talk to me first. The reason is that I want to see his or her seriousness, then how much they are really, you can say, attending the job or the suggestions given to them. I'll tell you, out of 10, only one remains, and they really get benefited. 9 gets out. The reason is that they really don't want to do, and that's where awareness is required. Why you really need a mentor, or why you really need to shape up your career or your interest in right direction. That's really important, and we need to, as thanks Sandeep, we are already on job for bridging the gap. But apart from that, we need, if we really want to be impactful, we will work on this awareness. Yes, Dr. Sachin, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Abba. First of all, I really appreciate the presentation of Mr. Yogesh sir. Sir is really great, and as a Dean Academics, I really inspired from you. And now it will help us, as a RIT point of view, it will help us to guide our mentor. How to guide? That is again challenge for them. So it's our routine mentoring system in RIT also. That is, alumni mentoring is different, and regular RIT mentoring system is there. So definitely, your presentation will be guidelines for all of us also. That is point number one. Point number two, I want to give one information to RAAH member that recently Abba knows that in our academic council meeting, we got one permission regarding drastic change in the curriculum. 100% student can go for the industry internship in last entire semester. That change we have made in our curriculum or for all the branches. So in view of that also, this mentoring system will definitely help us, and whatever support required from RIT point of view, RIT faculty point of view, we are here as per your guidelines. Definitely will provide all the support. That means identify the student, then taking this interest of the student. So all the details we'll collect and we'll discuss with the RAAH member. So thank you so much for taking this initiative. That's all about from my side.
Thanks,
Sure.
thanks, Doc. I think yes, sir.
Thanks, Sachin, for that one. And to your point, if you want, I am more than happy to do this same or similar presentation for RIT, tweaking it little bit to your requirements for the teachers or for a faculty, because lot of this contents is same regardless of what level it is happening. But if you think that will help, I am more than happy to help
Yeah,
anyway.
I was about to say
Yes.
that, Yogi, but in a different way. To be very frank, Yogi, um, I think I just thought of calling Sachin around an hour back and ask him that if people, especially professor, can join from RIT. But if we can work out that session, we can make it with that awareness factor, and we can put
Mhm.
some different dimensions also add to this existing presentation. And Sachin, as you said, we will be very happy to collaborate on that third semester, what we discuss on the 6 months
Industry internship.
yeah, industry. And that will be a real game changer for entire community, even at RA and even at RIT. So look forward to these opportunities to work together. Um,
But yes, definitely we'll plan one session for our mentors, because in
yeah,
RIT one system is there for one batch, one mentor is there at present, right? From first year to final year for all the branches.
great,
So
great,
so we'll definitely plan. I will discuss with Mirza sir, and with your prior appointment, we'll plan session for the mentors.
great.
Sure. And there
Sachin, the name will be mentoring the mentor.
Yes, yes, yes. Right, right, right.
And
True.
there is a question from Ayush Kolar. What are the prerequisites before reaching a mentor for help? What are the things we need to analyze or study? So I think I already spoke about it bit. There are no prerequisites per se, right? But couple of things you should do is just try to figure out what exactly area of help you can looking for, right? What are your goals in your mind, so that you can find a right person as a mentor. Just an example दिलेला आहे की if you want to start your own company, then maybe a person who is running this own company might be a better mentor than somebody who is working in the industry. So that's pretty much it actually. There are no prerequisites. It is not like a technical class where before learning blockchain you should learn Python kind of thing, right? So there is no prerequisite as such there. Just have some idea in your mind what you want to get out of this relationship, what are the questions you want to ask them, and a mentor will actually help you to find these prerequisites also, right? If you where you want to go with your journey. So there are no prerequisites. There is nothing you need to analyze or study other than think yourself what area you are looking for as a mentorship. If you find a person like, okay, I can reach out to say Ramesh Jadhav for this thing, for example, I would suggest look at his LinkedIn profile and see what he has done. Don't hire a private investigator to do that. Just look at the public information to see what he has done, and so that again, that is more for not anything else other than when you talk first time with them, you can connect with them and you can answer some of the questions why you chose that particular person. So that is just for better connection, but there is nothing like prerequisite or something like that. Other thing I also did not get a chance to talk about is, right, it's not like one single relationship. So if you suppose, for example, reach out to me as a mentor and you ask me a question about some area which I don't know, I can always kind of guide you for that particular area. Reach out to somebody else from my network or your own network. So it's that kind of relationship, right? That's kind of informal relationship. So you don't have to study anything, nothing like that actually.
Hey, just to add, Yogi, at different levels of or stages of life, you need to look at different mentors. The most important point should be that you should respect he or she, that mentor. Because say if I'm at 10th, I'm studying at 10th level or something like that, maybe any general mentor can help you around you. I think who, but there should be comfortable relationship. you should open up in front of he or she, and he should also, without any prejudice or any like say someone said, maintaining the confidentiality, because some issues can be really you can say confidential, so maybe that, but otherwise it should be an open relationship that and as you grow, maybe as you find your sector of passion, a mentor from that sector, like you said, if you're going to be a businessman, mentor from business community will really help you. A mentor from art circle may not be guide you on business. He may not be that correct person to guide you, and he may guide you on different qualities of life, but may not be the things which you are looking at. So first you should finalize your own agenda for mentorship. What exactly I need to be guided for or mentored for, and then look at someone who respect. Reach out. Don't hesitate. Even Yogi, I have seen some of the very great leaders. They love to mentor people, but people don't reach out to them. So LinkedIn is a great way. Put up a very polite message to them that, hi Yogi, it was indeed a great pleasure to know you over LinkedIn, and I would like you to mentor me. I think I'm doing that with some of the industry friends, and that really works.
Yeah. And I think that's where more important, right, for them, there's honestly a little bit of mentee to maintain that relationship. Because I'll give an example. I did this for, I did a session with, I think 10 or 12 students about 6 months ago, right? And I told them, right, what are the next steps, reach out to me. I put out my information. Unfortunately, none of them reached out to me after that particular one session. And there were some other factors, right, because of the COVID and all, then everybody working from home. But I think it is on the mentee to reach out and maintain that relationship, because I would have loved to, talk to some of those people again, but I cannot start that relationship for various, I mean, not for a reason that I don't want to do it, but it is just that that's not how it will work.
Exactly. So just closing on that, I think just to answer you, that's where I mentioned my comment as consistent, serious, disciplined collaboration. It should be from either ends. It will not work from only one end, and especially mentor is well settled, mentee is not. So it should come from mentee. It was wonderful having you, Yogi, for this session. Thank you very much for taking your time out from busy schedule, and as usual supporting entire RAAH community. Thank you all for attending. We extended the time, but subject was really very serious. So I hope you all will get benefited from this session. Let's keep watch on our next sessions, and let's keep this great work going on. Thanks indeed. Have a great night today. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night to all.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, Abba.
Bye. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Yogesh.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
Yogesh.
Thanks, Yogesh.
Thanks,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.
It's good night.
Nice.